You live beside someone long enough and you start to believe you can read their soul. You memorize their habits, their laugh, the rhythm of their breathing at night. You build your days around this idea that you know them, really know them. That the life you've woven together is steady, dependable, meant to last. And then, without warning, a single careless moment can knock the whole structure down. This is the night I learned that lesson the brutal way. The night one stupid, reckless joke tore my marriage apart. It was our 5th anniversary. We picked a little Italian restaurant, soft lamps, candlelight, brick walls warm from the glow. He even wore the charcoal tie I'd chosen for him years ago, the one that darkened his eyes just enough to make him look quietly elegant. Everything felt gentle, tender, right? We talked the way people do when they feel safe. Old memories, embarrassing stories, dumb decisions from our 20s. A bottle of red loosened everything, our shoulders, our voices, the line between funny and forbidden. We never talked much about our past relationships. Not because it was taboo, but because neither of us ever felt the need. Some doors stay closed without being locked. Then he smiled at me, this sweet, easy, honest smile, and said, "I was terrified on our first date. I thought there was no chance someone like you would even look at me twice." I squeezed his fingers and laughed. "You were adorable." "I mean it," he said, leaning closer. "You could have had anyone. I knew that. I should have just kissed him. Or thanked him. Or said anything but what I did. Instead, with the wine warm in my blood and my mouth moving faster than my judgment, I said lightly, stupidly, "Well, let's just say there were options. But you were the one who kept my attention." I laughed softly at my own attempt at a joke. "You didn't?" The shift in his face wasn't dramatic. That made it worse. The warmth drained out slowly like someone blowing out a candle. His expression went blank, not angry, not wounded, just empty. He slipped his hand out of mine with a deliberate calm that chilled me more than yelling ever could. The silence crashed over the table in a single wave. The entire restaurant kept talking, clinking glasses, living their normal lives, but around us, there was nothing but that awful, suffocating stillness. "Hey," I whispered. "It was just a joke. A dumb one." He kept staring past me, jaw tight, eyes unfocused. Then, without a word, he stood. The chair scraped the floor like a warning. He pulled out his wallet, placed a crisp bill in the center of the table, weighed it down with the pepper shaker, and turned away. He walked out without looking back. I sat frozen, every part of me buzzing with disbelief. The waitress eventually approached, voice soft and uncertain. "Ma'am, is everything okay? Did your husband leave?" All I could do was nod. When I finally stepped outside, the night air hit me like a bucket of ice water. His car was already gone. My calls went straight to voicemail. Eventually, my phone died, and so did the last bit of hope holding me together. When I got home, the house was stripped of him. His side of the closet emptied. His toothbrush missing. A suitcase gone. No note. No explanation. Just absence. It wasn't the joke about other men that destroyed everything. It was the way I turned our relationship into something cheap, something competitive, something he had to win, rather than something we chose together every day. My words made him feel like he had been fooled, like our marriage was built on a lie, like he had simply been the last one standing after a line of others. In that moment, I made him feel replaceable. And he walked away from a life he refused to let be reduced to a punchline. The bill was settled. The chair across from me was empty. And I was left alone with the echo of a joke that cost me everything.